America's health epidemic is insane. The amount of obese Americans is reaching close to 50% of the adult population, and a lot of that comes from diet and what's in our food. But you know what's also contributing to it? The forced acceptance of fat people in the US. For whatever reason, the culture in the United States has shifted to where people are too fat to fly on airplanes or fit in Uber rides or even Disneyland rides is fat phobic. And those that are overweight aren't even held accountable for their decisions. Let's look at a recent example of the rapper Deja, who's suing Lyft for being denied service due to her weight. Instead of a reflection on her eating choices and lack of exercise, she took the quick defensive route by deciding to actually sue them because of this whole ordeal. This lawsuit has quickly made headlines all over the internet and again shows how out of touch with reality many people can be. I can't even imagine the look of fear the Lyft driver had pulling up to the pickup and seeing Deja, the absolute unit, approaching the car with only a quick decision to either let her in and risk damage to his vehicle or face the potential repercussions by denying her service. And the thing with this too, she had the option to pay more for an Uber XL. There were options. Deja claimed that it isn't fair that she should have to pay more because of her size, but how is it fair that the Lyft driver loses his job because he didn't feel comfortable with the passenger? Deja has also gone on interviews covering this whole ordeal, and she couldn't even fit in her normal chair and demanded a bigger seat, and continues to still claim she would have been able to fit in the small Lyft that she ordered originally. Another prominent example in the media is TikToker Jaebae, who's most well known for her petition to make all seats on airplanes bigger to accommodate everyone, and her main issue is with how travel should be for everyone, and she shouldn't feel discriminated against because of her weight. It gets to a point, she and millions of other fat Americans claiming that losing weight is controlling, and they shouldn't have to live that way, and that their bodies are not the issue, the system is. If you're talking about the system in airplanes and cars not being able to support your weight, that would be the only system I agree with, because it's kind of hard to believe that the airplane was designed for the purpose of discriminating against fat people. It's exhausting listening to these people demand that their eating and lifestyle choices that are killing them is not a problem. There is a rise of social media influencers that believe in body positivity and show off their lifestyle being a fat content creator, and it's honestly hilarious. On Instagram, there's a growing popularity, mostly because of how insane it is, called plus-size park hoppers that essentially show these overweight women that go around Disneyland and explain which rides they can and can't fit in comfortably. It just shows you the difference in a first world versus third world problem. And the unfortunate thing is, it's going to keep getting worse in the US. Rappers like Dave Blunts aren't famous because his music's good. He's gotten famous because it's absolutely hilarious seeing a 23-year-old rap on a couch hooked up to oxygen. These influencers have such a negative engagement because it's almost appalling to see someone somehow achieve such a build and then expect the world to change for them. Kind of reminds me of the circus times where they'd find the biggest person they could and all the guests would come and shout and throw tomatoes at them or whatnot. But instead now is they copy the meanest thing possible on Instagram because hey, still gets them paid, right? Body positivity doesn't even seem like a real thing anymore because saying Lizzo is beautiful and you look like Lizzo aren't the same thing. Too far? Hopefully not.